Hello, good morning, and it's time again for another in the series, Crosstalk. Our maxim here is very simple: accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative. Today, bill to allow road safety officers bear arms, scales second reading. Should road safety folks bear arms? That's what we're looking at. You know, established in 1988 in the Babangida years in power, the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, had the core mandate to prevent or minimize accidents on the highway. It also was empowered to clear obstruction on any of the highway in question. For the record, takeoff for the road safety was salutary under the inaugural Corps Marshal, that's CM, Dr. Olu Agunloye. But alas, like any and everything Nigerian, the Federal Road Safety Corps has yielded to the mind-bending vagaries of the Nigerian system. Today, driving, which should ordinarily be a noble art, has become like going to war. People drive in a manner that makes you think they are late for accidents. Drivers don't obey the traffic laws anymore. The men of the Federal Road Safety Corps have become helpless. But hear this, the Federal House of Representatives has waded into the matter. A bill seeking to amend the Federal Road Safety Corps Act of 2007, aimed at empowering officers to bear arms, has scaled second reading in the House of Representatives. Crosstalk, an Enterprise TV offering, desires to make this a subject for debate. Should the Federal Road Safety Corps officials be allowed to carry arms? A debate, we must tell you, goes beyond making a big divergence between two opposing parties in a debate. Opposing arguments are put forward to thrash out opposing viewpoints. So let's declare the verbal war open. The combatants are very familiar to you. The one is the genial barrister Evans Ufeli. Barrister Ufeli, I greet you. Welcome.
Thank you.
And at the other end of the line would be the personable Cyril Abaku. Cyril Abaku is a broadcaster and communications expert. Cyril, I greet you too.
Thank you, Sidi.
Yeah, gentlemen, I admit that being a gentleman is easy, except that after a verbal clash, it becomes something different. So let me drop it on the table here. Should the Federal Road Safety Corps officials be allowed to bear arms?
Well, I don't think they should be allowed to bear arms. On the basis of your prologue, drivers have become reckless. We're having multiple accidents here and there. Road signs are not complied with. And there's a lot of illegality. Driving that you said is supposed to be a noble act, or, it's been completely contravene the principles and the rules of driving and all that. In as much as we have all those issues before us, bearing arms by the road safety operative is not a solution, because it is not a call for war. I am even of the opinion that arms should be taken away from policemen who man traffic, because we have seen what they've used arms to do over the years. Just last year, a lawyer was killed in her vehicle in December last year. The husband and the children were in the vehicle when she was shot dead by a police officer. So we have this proclivity of having happy trigger operatives.
Trigger-happy policemen.
Trigger-happy policemen.
Men in uniform.
Yes. So we should think of how we should minimize the use of rifle in civil society. Nigeria is not at war on the road or anywhere, except maybe for the insurgencies we have, and the soldiers are taking care of that.
Yeah, but it's really except that in a supposed peacetime in Nigeria, driving has been made to become something else.
Yes,
it should be a noble art.
But you don't need arms to get people to comply with the rules of driving. You don't need arms to do that. The penalties we have, impounding the vehicle, fine, all those penalties
Should
that
be
are
enough.
in the code, yes, they should be implemented and enforced against citizens who are found to contravene these regulations.
All right.
That is sufficient.
Okay. Cyril, but given these many rules and laws, the Nigerian driver remains recalcitrant.
And that is to say the very least. In addition to being recalcitrant, I want to believe that even policemen today will tell you that they are not armed enough, because Nigerian society has become so difficult to govern. People just do whatever they like. You can imagine that bus drivers can stop in the middle of the road and come out of the car and begin to make water, just ease themselves on the road like that. Sometimes where cars are parked, they just come down and on the very body of the car, they just do their thing. Sometimes they even defecate in the process.
So,
if you want,
so policemen need to be armed.
No, not just that. I'm saying that even policemen realize that they are dealing with a society where people have very scant respect for them. Now, you now add the matter of road safety. They are not armed. People disrespect them. If their duty is to secure,
Lives.
protect, from facing certain danger, what else do you want them to do? There was a case of a particular incident in Port Harcourt where a bridge had a bar at the mouth of it. The bridge had a bar
To regulate traffic.
and to make sure that certain categories of vehicles didn't pass on it.
Yeah.
So the vehicle was approaching the bridge, and men in uniform, let me just leave it there, raised up and said, don't
Cross.
pass it. From a distance, they said, stop. They thought they shouldn't be stopped. It was late night, and so they sped past
And rammed into the bar.
God knows whatever came out of that. Now, road safety, their duty is to prevent Nigerians from getting killed, from running into trouble on the road. But the reality is that they are not even armed enough. They are not equipped enough. They don't have enough ambulance services to render first aid, which they ought to be part of the first responders in case of emergency. Number two, the armed robbers, when they want to go and rob, if they see road safety on the way, the road safety people are not safe. They could be killed. In this day and age, when banditry and terrorism is on the rise, they will see bandits coming. What are they supposed to do? They should sit back and say, we shouldn't be armed. So I think that arming them is important, because if you did that, then you'd have given Nigerian security another offensive step. Okay? Another step to be on the offensive. They can gather intelligence. They should be gathering intelligence, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Part of the mandate.
Yes, they should be able to return fire if they are fired upon. Okay, they shouldn't wave when they're fired upon. They should be able to return fire. They should be able to, people should be able to, if they say, stop the car,
And you don't stop, they will shoot the person.
they shouldn't shoot.
No, but that's what they will be doing.
If they say, stop the car, they should have in possession something strong enough to make them elicit your obedience to that command.
And that's to shoot.
And that is to be armed, not to shoot, but to be armed.
My argument is this. 36 years after the establishment of the Road Safety Corps, we're still talking about the same thing.
What thing is that?
The lack of respect for traffic rules, obeying traffic officers, and so on.
It is the question, should we wait another 38 years to experiment whether Nigerians will not change or not?
The call to that
You
is
must
that
be armed
the
to be
call
respected.
to that is that I'll deflate that argument that policemen are armed in this country and they are not respected. So if you say it's because of arms, that is why they don't obey, people don't obey traffic rule and all that, that will be, begging the question, because these policemen are armed and they don't respect them. And mind you,
But
the same rituals.
Invariably, you are saying Nigerians are lawless.
Well, if you say so to an extent, the same rituals that...
Are you conceding?
Yes, the same rituals that the policemen are involved in, extortion, collecting bribe, desecrating our roads with impropriety. It's the same ritual that the road safety men are involved in. So whether armed or not, they are going to be disrespected because they collect gratification to get people to break the law.
No, but they've not been armed. And before they are armed, you're already telling us what to happen when they are armed.
Yes,
judging them before they
no, because you see,
my question is on
you said they disrespect them.
Katsina, Kano, Jigawa, Bauchi. You put a man in uniform on the highway, he'll be meeting terrorist financiers, bandits, even headsmen who are armed. And you are hoping that when people like that come to the bus stop, he will lay out the red carpet and say pass. He is endangered. They should be armed because it's necessary. They are paramilitary.
Why should you arm? See, first
they are paramilitary.
First of all, it's illegal to arm them. That's one. The instant law that established them did not make provision for them being armed.
Nigerians made the law. We can amend the law. We can amend it.
Hold on now. The bill has moved from first reading to second reading. From after second reading, now it's going to go to committee stage. And I bet you that it will die there. It will die there because that is where the argument really is put forth. Not first and second reading.
The bill, okay.
It will die there. Why it will die there is because, I mean, we know how long it took to give arms to civil defense. Civil defense that is even, in a way, a paramilitary that was set up to supplement defense. Took how many years? They got arms just 5 years ago. Okay. This particular one, the road safety, used to be an NGO.
Would you say they are counting the blessings?
Well, for pipeline surveillance, they are doing well with that. You understand? And they were able to bail Rivers State from the recent crisis. So we can count that as a blessing. But for this one, road safety, they are supposed to be a civil organization. It started as an NGO for Christ's sake. Now, all of a sudden, they say that people are not respecting traffic rules. Therefore, the next thing we should do is to carry gun and give them. Or because there are bandits.
So the argument, yes.
And there are insurgency and all that. Therefore, you carry gun and give them. What they are saying invariably is that because there are bandits, every Nigerian should bear arms. That's what they are saying.
No, but
communities should bear arms.
Look at we
you understand? So I don't think it's the right way.
When the country we are,
if we continue this way, anything will give arm. NDC will give arm. Amoteco will give arm. Road safety will give arm. Civil defense will give arm. One day we'll turn to
an armed country.
Yes, we'll call it America.
The argument
and you're not going to pull the arms out.
The state of insecurity has forced even people at the highest echelons of government to say Nigerians better take your destiny in your own hands. What more do you want? If governors have told Nigeria that they're people to say, find your own level, arm yourself and do your thing. Is it those who are uniformed, who are undertaking quasi military, quasi security work that should not be armed?
But Evance's position is this. Many years ago, it was possible for one policeman to arrest a village with a baton. But today, many years after, you need a lorry load of armed policemen
or even soldiers
to go after a felon.
Yes.
And that felon can settle all of them.
The argument, therefore, is we are in such a terribly bad place. Arm those you should arm. Then let's begin to work back towards the solution. But I think it was Albert Einstein that said that you cannot remain on the same level of a problem.
Yeah.
Arming is not.
And so it has got to be. Do you know why? Do you even know why? Because we've lost these values, and ideally we shouldn't forget this. That if the road safety, road traffic people are essentially part of the police, actually.
An extension.
It's police. It's police. Is a police department that should be doing that. Now, they are the ones who are on the road.
But this giving arms to officials of the road safety would mean that they would go through the ritual of getting trained.
No, but of course they will at Wudil in Kano. They should go there.
The psychology of bearing arms is not as simple as you think.
No. The question is maybe because you're thinking that they will be armed to shoot to kill. Soldiers and policemen are used and
the moment it is said that the moment you give a man and you give him arms, you are no longer his master. You are no longer, you lose your master,
In
whatever
fact,
it
the
is.
arm becomes the master of all.
Yes, and you can use this either ways. Look at how the policemen who were taught then at the military college that when you hold arms or you hold a gun, you don't keep it on your lap like this. You see police put in the lap, they enter Okada. At every time, it must face the ground.
Yeah.
And nobody stands in the face of a rifle, whether it's loaded or not. But you see, the other day I was at the EFCC and one of the operatives sat somewhere, held the gun like this, and I told you, I said, turn it this way. Let it face the ground.
The nozzle was facing you.
Yes, the nozzle was facing me, and it was rubbing it. It was rubbing it.
It's not a new thing.
So police will take it and enter Okada, and they will be firing. The next thing you would do, you will not have a study road safety. Will not be carrying arms. They will enter Okada and be chasing vehicles up and down and be doing all sorts. So I don't think we should reduce arms. We should rather empower our operatives, pay them well, let them have respect, let them stop extorting money. That's the reason they are disrespected. Let them, earn their dignity and appear as noblemen.
In a utopian society, I completely agree with you. But I've told you that in Lagos, you have last man.
Not serious, but it doesn't say our society is dystopian.
No, that's what is implied.
We haven't gotten
what have you gotten? You yourself said that a policeman could arrest a village. Now it takes it will take an entire police battalion to arrest a single fellow. Is that utopia or dystopia?
No. What I meant by that is simply that crime and criminality has evolved over time. And even in the United States of America or the United Kingdom, they still have things like this.
The state of Nigerian crime and criminality is post-dystopia. There are whole villages that have been sacked. Women have been raped.
With guns.
With guns. The fellows are armed. Those who are in the ecosystem of preventing it from happening should not be armed. I don't know how that.
No, the road safety. Road safety is not in that case.
One, we don't have enough of
to prevent crime. Road safety is not indicated to prevent crime.
No, they should be.
They are not.
That's the argument that now they should be because we're in a bad place. They should become.
Because ordinarily they should be. It would appear ordinary, but the core mandate of the road safety corps, as I said, is to prevent or minimize accidents on the highway.
That is the objective.
Do you know why?
That is not.
Do you know why?
That is
because Nigeria,
in the regard of
for many years, Nigeria had one solution to every problem. Now you hear
silver bullet.
No. Now you hear of unbundle the NNPC, for example, unbundle INEC. Whenever anything has become a problem and they can't deal with corruption, they say unbundle it.
And that's a knee-jerk reaction.
It is. Now look at, for example, the road safety was brought in to fix a function that the police had failed to do.
A missing link.
A missing link. You have what's it called? You have these people that wear orange tops.
Yellow fever.
Yeah. Now you see,
traffic
before now they are part of the police. They were before they were. So at every turn, you have this problem. Okay, this is not working well. Split it.
They are still the police now.
The traffic wardens.
They are still the police.
No, but there's a sense in which
they were not armed.
No,
they didn't have to be armed.
They don't have to be armed. So why do you want to arm the road safety people?
Because they're not doing the same thing. Road safety is police function.
You don't need gun to prevent accident on the road. Let's be objective.
We are expanding their function. We are expanding what they should do.
You cannot expand their function because you already have the army, the navy, the police, and all that. That's a different conversation. The issue is that what is the objective of the road safety?
If they see armed robbers,
is the objective,
or for that matter, what's the major job of the traffic officer, traffic police?
That is the issue. So if there is to prevent accidents,
a highway
to monitor whether you are having your seatbelt on, whether you are not overloaded, whether your vehicle is roadworthy, whether you don't need arm to enforce that.
Can I ask a question? So if,
the moment you carry arm,
if the police or the policing of safety was to be enforced, all right, and in the process they need to either impound the vehicle or arrest the citizen, and that person was resisting arrest because he was armed, should the law enforcement agent be endangered? or not?
But still, aren't you?
That's our extreme exceptional cases that are not.
No, but how do you solve it? By not amending the law?
They are not.
How do you solve it?
Gentlemen, is any of you not scandalized enough that Nigerians have this tendency, this penchant to impugn the law at will? One of our colleagues went to Ghana when Nigeria and Ghana hosted the AFCON in 2002. 2000.
Yes.
And they went out late in Ghana, and returning late, the cabsman got to a traffic light and stopped when it showed red. So my colleague said he told him once, believing he was in Nigeria, said, "Oh boy, move now." And the Ghanaian driver said, "No, Charlie, they will catch us." So that tells you, in Ghana, you don't mess with the law.
Yes.
But why do we, in Nigeria...
Whereas we are approaching what Ghana has achieved. While you're on the road
so we are playing catch-up. Should we be playing catch-up?
No! So to catch up properly, you must enforce it. Otherwise, they will not listen to you.
The moment you give road safety arm, they will lose focus completely. You see that accident that they are supposed to prevent, they will be the one causing the accident.
Why? Because
with the arms. Yes, they'll be using it. I'm just telling you, I know this country. That is when they will begin to do the opposite of their natural function. And it will lead to more crises in
this society.
They should not.
If somebody was traveling with irregular documents, and he went from Lagos to Ogun to Ondo, and he was going like that, and road safety stopped him on the road, and he fired past their checkpoint, what should they do?
That is not.
No. I hope you are not begging the question.
Yes, what should they do? What should FRS
fire pass? What do you mean
if he drives past their station?
They have vehicles. They will go and arrest him
to chase him.
That's what they do. Yes,
to chase him.
They do that. They arrest. They arrest for people who are who contravene the law. They arrest them. By the way, you have customs on the way. Customs are armed. Because in the nature of their job. They do what they call border surveillance. You understand? Road safety don't do that. Road safety, they do their work within. So it's understandable that customs
I thought.
But when you now say road safety to bear, and when their objective is just to quell accident issue and all that, they will use that arm to cause more accidents.
I thought you would say that they should quickly do their security network, call the nearest police station.
Or the nearest road safety.
No, they know what to do now. They will choose the option.
Because those things don't work, they know. Because those things don't work.
Gentlemen, you are leaving me with no choice but to conclude that we are in a mess. We are in a fix.
Come on.
No, that is not in dispute. That is why
dystopia.
That is why the argument was never on that, because I think we have impliedly concluded that we're...
Who knows whether road safety is the silver bullet we're waiting for?
No, road safety couldn't have been. They couldn't have been because they will compound the issue.
You are judging them before you even give them the arms.
Judging them because, see, I've lived long enough.
Yeah, but what have they done?
The operatives
what have they done?
Hold on. Are the operatives of the road safety that you want to feed with these arms, are you going to bring them from the moon or from the heaven?
You see, in fairness,
let me tell you why. So this same society,
they are
not different from policemen.
No, they are. You know why? They dress better. They speak better English. They appear. This is verifiable. Come on. On the average, if you went to an FRSC office, I went to a police station, where would you naturally want to go back? So they look more trustworthy and more and have more integrity. Let's look at it.
Okay, you are talking about entry points and so on.
Yes, and even on the road, if you stopped, you could meet policemen on the road. Now somebody could be under heavy
the usage of arms. You are talking about dress wear, the usage of arms.
It's not just. I'm talking about the overall mental state of the institutions involved here. The FRS is by far. People relate to them better and much better than they do.
But that is not a yardstick to say that.
I'm glad you agree with me.
No.
If you're in a better mental state, then let's even
I don't.
Cyril, but are you not troubled that this bill in the first place came to the floor of the House of Reps?
I mean, it's fine. In a democracy, all points of argument should be put on the table. It's a bill, right? Let the debate take place. If it survives, fine. If it doesn't, it's still okay.
It can't survive.
I hope it does.
Cannot.
All right. So in taking this home, therefore, Barrister Ofeli, you, in 36 years of the being of FRSC, you think it can't count its blessings?
It can, definitely. I mean, we have seen what they've done so far. They have helped in a great deal to minimize road crashes that we've had across.
For instance, I had a reason for asking. We still have bottlenecks with having a driver license, which is a core mandate of the road safety, and number plates.
Yes, they cannot manage the driver's license. They cannot manage number plates. We want to give them arms. They will now conflict.
Who says they cannot?
They will now complicate everything.
Who says they cannot?
You go to get the driver's license, you will have to wait for 4 or 5 months before you get it. That organization is not credible enough mentally.
Administrative
to
lapses.
add to the management of arms and ammunition.
Barrister, hold on. Now, this is the issue.
Let's not put ourselves into trouble.
This is the issue.
Then we already are in.
There is a National IT Development Communication Agency, whatever. The way government works is very simple. Agencies with specialization feed the other ones with their needs, right? So if the presidency or anybody who has the power or the right to give them the technology to fast track processing of ID cards and licenses is not doing its work, you can't put that on FRSC. The one they can do, wash their uniforms and iron them properly and wear them. They are doing it well. Okay? Communication, when you meet them and communicate with them, they are more personable than the police. These people will, if you give them arms, they will be able to reason before they even use it. Policemen are full of accidental discharge. They said he was trying to escape arrest, then they shot him as was going into the bush. Nigerian policemen, come on, are they our best friends today?
Discretion.
Serious indiscretion. So the argument is simple. Don't judge them before they are even given arms. Let us have it and let's see how that goes.
That is the risk.
The solution.
That is a very big risk, to give them and watch how they will mismanage it.
We have been watching the police for close to century.
So you are saying what the police is doing is right by mismanaging the
no, that's not what I said. What I said was that you have put up with the police's own mismanagement and indiscretion.
It is necessary to do that.
So in fact, what we should even be doing now is let's look for an alternative. So this FRSC should be an experiment.
Cyril, but I know if you went conducting a vox pop across the city, the consensus of opinion would be no, don't grant them to bear arms, the right to bear
arms. That's the right thing.
It is not for us to say that here. We have to allow the law take its course. We have to allow the arguments
we are not here at this point because of a paucity of laws. The laws are there.
No,
to regulate.
There is no law today enabling the FRSC from bearing to bear arms. That's a paucity of some kind.
Yeah. But what Barrister Ofeli is saying is that arming them will compound an already other situation.
It is not for us to sit here and
there is no law enabling them to bear arms, because what law does is to re-engineer society and bring solution. So there shouldn't be any law at all to allow them bear arms. They shouldn't.
No, but
because of the tendency of that abuse we are talking about, which they will. There's no point experimenting with that, because look at the lives and the commotion we're going to cause with that experimentation. And it's not.
Gentlemen, let me drop this ointment, or this fly in the ointment. I hope it won't poison the ointment. It's like the debate about state policing. The yes and no, still renting the air.
We leave it to them. The people who have argued as federalists, okay, have said let states have their own police. Those who have argued as people who believe in central power have argued for a federal police, for a
unitary command.
For unitary police, the unitarists. It is okay. In the end, neither the state police nor the federal police is the issue. The question will be, or the unitary police, the question will be, when we put all the arguments on the table, which one is more viable enough to command our voice and our vote to give it boost and feel it? I am saying it here again that by conduct so far, the FRSC guys have given themselves a better account than the police, and therefore they've passed the test of the possibility of being armed and seeing how they do with it also.
The final 120 seconds, 60 seconds for each. Let's take the point home. The bill to allow road safety officers bear arms has a scaled second reading on the floor of the House of Reps. Is it a yes for you or a no for you, Barrister Philip?
It's a no for me. It's a no because we have so many issues at hand right now. And the arms that we have out there is already, has become an albatross already. We should even dispossess, even the police, arms that they use in combating traffic issues and all that. For those who are fighting insurgency and all that, that is fine. But to then license and allow the road safety to bear arms when the objective is to stop road accidents and all that, you don't need fire to fight fire. Okay, you need something that will douse
reasonableness.
Yes, you need something that will douse fire. Okay, you don't use fire to create fire and all that. So they should not be armed, because if you do, this one is saying that they are well dressed and they are better coordinated and they have a better process. The police was once like that. Okay, until you give them guns to go stand on the road.
Until the police
in those days,
it's innocence.
Police was not even given any gun to do traffic work before now. They will use baton to do that. Up until even in the 90s, they were using batons to do that. So what we call guns is not just what you just, every institution you see, you stop by the roadside and start to share it to them.
Maybe you are
They should
assuming
take
that
it to
you
go and
let him land. Let him land.
take it and go and create problem. It's not, we can't afford that as a country.
All right.
Because if we do so, we should give people arms and ammunition to go and stop
especially in a 21st century world.
We can't.
Cyril, how do you take this home?
It is easy to see that we cannot expose people's parents, fathers, mothers,
Uncles,
aunties on the highways and byways of Nigeria in the name of providing road safety for travelers, and they become endangered species. That was most unfortunate. Secondly, these guys in 36 years have given a better account of themselves than the police has done in a lifetime. Therefore, what is they say the reward for work, for good work, for hard work, is more work. Have they earned the right to bear arms? I think they have. So let's try and see what good comes out of it.
All right, we apply the brakes here, but not before asking that the debate continue in your part of town. The prime question here is, should road safety officials be allowed by law to bear arms in order to enhance their job? Let me thank the combatants. Barrister Evans Sufeli, thank you for your time.
My pleasure.
And Cyril Abaku, many thanks too.
My pleasure.
So on behalf of the Backroom Boys, this is yours very sincerely, Citizen Jones Hussein, saying, I'm out of here. Bye-bye now. Take care. Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.